Today, the words pizza and delivery go together like melted cheese and pepperoni, but that wasn't always the case. The fact is, several decades ago, it just wasn't a thing. You couldn't simply pick up your phone and order a pizza from the comfort of your couch. You had to stand up, put on real clothes, and actually leave your house. It wasn't until an underdog pizza company and its unlikely founder made some bold business decisions that delivery was finally born. This is a surprising story of how Domino's Pizza revolutionized an industry and made food delivery what it is today. In the early 1960s, young Tom Monahan was dangerously close to becoming what you might call a failure. He'd already dropped out of college, accidentally joined the Marines, and been tricked out of thousands of dollars of savings. Many would say he wasn't the sharpest tool in the box, but Tom wasn't one to give up on himself. In fact, he'd written in his high school yearbook, "The harder I try to be good, the worse I get, but I may do something sensational yet." Coming from the guy who had finished last in his high school class, those words may have sounded delusional to some. But Tom embraced the delusional. He even fantasized about being fabulously wealthy someday. And when his brother suggested they buy a local pizza business called Dominos, the pair took out a $900 loan and purchased a shop in Michigan. Now, while neither of the brothers had any experience with making pizzas or running a business, they began delivering pizzas to local customers in their VW Beetle. But it was an uphill battle from the start, which is probably why Tom's brother went back to his job as a mailman after just a few months. Now, Tom, on the other hand, well, he worked 100-hour weeks and even slept in the store. He was obsessed with becoming successful. There was just one problem. Tom's little pizza shop was small fish compared to its competitors, Pizza Hut and Little Caesars. In fact, by the time Tom renamed the shop to Domino's in 1965, Pizza Hut and Little Caesars were already way ahead. Pizza Hut in particular was well on its way to taking over the country. By the end of the 1960s, it had close to 500 stores in the US. With Tom being ever the dreamer, he was encouraged by Pizza Hut's success and also attempted to expand himself. But it backfired. He ended up with $1.5 million in debt and came dangerously close to bankruptcy. Fortunately, Domino's had a secret weapon: delivery. Now, this may be hard to believe, but the 1960s were basically the dark ages when it came to food delivery. Most restaurants didn't see delivery as profitable, and when it came to pizza, getting a pie from point A to point B was actually a pretty big hassle. Enter Domino's. Tom saw this as an opportunity. He decided to double down on the one thing that his rivals were ignoring. They started out by delivering pizza to hungry college students, but as their popularity grew, so too did their orders. To keep up with demand and ensure customers were getting high-quality pizzas, Tom made some upgrades to the delivery process. For example, he invented his own pizza boxes. This was completely different to how others had tried serving in the past, on cake trays or covering the pizza with a bag. But that wasn't good enough for Tom, so he ordered specially made corrugated pizza boxes. These boxes have walls made of fluted cardboard that's sandwiched between two thinner pieces of paperboard. This cutting-edge design made pizza boxes much sturdier, easier to carry, and suitable for stacking while keeping the pizza hotter for longer. It's the same design that's still used today. This innovation had a tremendous impact on Domino's growth. Their customers loved the convenience and reliability of knowing they could pick up the phone and have fresh hot pizza delivered directly to their door. And seeing what an impact it made on their sales, Domino's continued to invest in making deliveries better. In 1984, Tom heard about something called thermal bags and became the first pizza company to put them into practice. This meant that their pizza drivers would no longer need to resort to insulating pizzas with blankets or even makeshift heaters, a practice that sometimes involved having an open flame in the delivery car. With the new thermal bags, Domino's drivers could just focus on driving, knowing that their pizzas would remain piping hot in the back seat. And that's a good thing, because there's an even more important way that Domino's left its mark on delivery, but this one had some serious consequences. The famous 30 minutes or it's free guarantee. You see, even though Domino's had a slow start compared to Pizza Hut, by 1979 they finally had enough stores around the country that they figured no matter where a customer was ordering from, they could deliver a pizza within half an hour. They were so sure of this promise that they were prepared to put their money where their mouth was. If they failed to uphold the promise, they were prepared to take the financial hit and give the pizza for free. The 30-minute promotion was a success right from the start. It was win-win for customers, who'd either get a rapid delivery or a free pizza. But it was even better for Domino's. It helped them grow from 287 stores in 1979 to 5,000 stores in 1989. Their slogan became so popular that it ended up in movies and TV shows, from Home Alone to Ninja Turtles to The Simpsons, quickly cementing itself as part of American popular culture. And sure, while some customers tried to game the system by turning off their porch lights to hide their address, most customers were pretty forgiving if the pizza was just a couple of minutes late. Very few actually demanded a free pizza. This made it the perfect marketing strategy. That is, until the lawsuits started piling up. You see, it was argued that this focus on rapid delivery incentivized fast, reckless, dangerous driving. And after a series of accidents involving Domino's drivers made the headlines, people blamed the 30 minutes or it's free deal as the cause for these accidents. By one estimate, the promotion may have led to up to 20 deaths by 1989. After having to settle one particularly bad accident for $15 million in 1993, Domino's finally did away with the promotion for good, but its impact remains to this day. 30 minutes is pretty much the standard expectation for any food delivery. Now, after the 30 minutes or it's free debacle, Domino's began a slow decline, which continued throughout the early 2000s. Customers decided they no longer liked the pizza, which is kind of a big problem for a pizza company. Reports like the crust tastes like cardboard or the sauce tastes like ketchup were becoming all too common. What was even more worrying was, in blind taste tests, just the mention of the fact it was a Domino's pizza made participants actually like the pizza less. Not surprisingly, this caused Domino's sales to slump, a slump which only got worse during the 2008 recession. But in spite of all of this, Domino's has since made an extraordinary comeback. That comeback began in 2010 with a series of brutally honest commercials and brand new pizza recipes. Now that's a story that's worth a video in itself, but Domino's did one more thing that not only saved them from their downward spiral, but continues to have implications for where delivery is headed in the future. They invested in technology. In some ways, this was nothing new. From the very beginning, founder Tom Monahan had looked for ways to make the delivery process better, but innovations like thermal bags and corrugated pizza boxes, well, that was last millennium's technology. Now, Domino's is fully embracing the digital age, with lots of futuristic innovations. For one thing, they're going all in on digital ordering. Customers can now order pizza via a tweet, an emoji, or even Domino's zero-click app, which is a 10-second timer that automatically orders you a pizza after 10 seconds. Which raises the question, how lazy do they think we are? Now, why is Domino's so enthusiastic about digital orders? Well, it turns out that while an order made over the phone costs about $1 of an employee's time, a digital order only costs Domino's about 25 cents. So I guess Domino's must be pretty happy that about 75% of their sales are now digital. But they've embraced this technology even further. For example, their Dom Pizza Checker, an in-store camera, is used to monitor the quality of every single pizza being made. Initially launched in Australia and New Zealand, according to the company's website, it's set to be rolled out across the world. They're also heavily investing in autonomous vehicle delivery. In other words, Domino's wants robots to deliver your pizzas someday. And let's be honest, someday may not be that far down the road, especially when you consider that automated delivery is already pretty big in China. The e-commerce giant Alibaba has already delivered more than 1 million parcels using a fleet of just 200 robots, and they're expecting to grow that fleet to 10,000 robots in the next 3 years. Which explains why Domino's is already building its own little robot army, which they rolled out in Houston in 2019. The way it works is once you order your pizza, Domino's will text you a PIN code. When the Neuro R2 robot shows up at your curb, you just enter the PIN on its touchscreen and its side doors will pop open, revealing your sizzling hot pizza. Domino's certainly has come a long way since the days of hauling pizza around in a VW Beetle. From the first corrugated pizza boxes to thermal bags to an offer that still lives on in movies and TV shows today, no one else has ever left a bigger mark than Domino's when it comes to food delivery. And going forward, there's little doubt they'll continue to be the pizza delivery pioneers.